Okay, I'd like to just go back over here a little bit, because on Samacham and Beis, there's something similar to what the Gemara says over here. We have a machlokas, Rav and Shmuel. A person says, person marries a woman from now and after 30 days. So we have machlokas, Rav and Shmuel. Does he mean that when 30 days comes, it's retroactive from today? He gives a ring. From today and after 30 days. Does it mean the marriage is effective now, however, the 30-day period has to come first, then it's going to be retroactive? It's a Tanai. And why does the person say it this way? This is Shmuel. Because the person has in mind that in case he wants to change his mind before 30 days, he still has that wiggle room not to be married to the woman. So 30 days has to come before it's going to be retroactive from today. Right? Everybody agrees that. Rashi says not only that, what happens if he should die before 30 days comes? He should pass away. If he should die before 30 days comes, since it's a condition, the marriage is not retroactive. Others argue with Rashi in that regard, and they say it is. That's not what the person intended. The reason is only if he explicitly says, I don't want to be married, then it's not retroactive. That's Rav. That's Shmuel. Rav says no. It's a suffix. When a person says, we're not sure what he means. Does he mean now? And when he says, lach shloshim yom, he means, I've changed my mind, I've retracted, and it only takes effect after 30 days? Or no, it means, like Shmuel says, so it's a suffix, is it Tanai or is it Chazorah? Is it retroactive? What's the, let's say he should change his mind. Not he should change. Let's say a third party comes and marries it in the interim. So if it's retroactive, the third party's act is nothing, correct? Because it's retroactive. But if it's Chazorah, if it's a retraction, correct? So since the 30-day didn't yet come, so the second person's act is an act of marriage, right? So she's married to number two. That's Chazorah. That is Chazorah. Okay? No, you could say it should be now. It's not contradictory. If you interpret it as Shmuel does, it should be effective now on the condition that 30 days has to happen first. So then it's going to be retroactive from now. Meaning, ultimately, it's going to be from now if 30 days come. It's like a man marries a woman. You're married to me now if you give me money, a certain amount of money, within 30 days. So if she gives the money within 30 days, that's the next Mishnah, then the marriage is retroactive. She doesn't give the money in 30 days, then the marriage is nothing. Now, and, so that's the question, how to interpret that mean. And, so that's, good. Well, now in 30 days. Yep. So that's our question. What does that mean? What does that mean? So Shmuel says it means it's conditional. And if 30 days come, that's what it means. Now, and if 30 days come, then it's going to be retroactive. Rav says, no, it's not simple. That's what it means. That it's a retraction. Or maybe not. So according to Shmuel, if a third party comes and marries an interim, what's the halacha? She's married to Mr. A. According to Rav, it's not simple. Because if it's a retraction, and the marriage will only take place in 30 days, so if she accepted marriage from a third party before the 30-day period, she's married to the second person. So what would she need? According to Shmuel, Rav, she need a get for both of them. According to Shmuel, the second person's marriage is not a marriage, right? Because if 30 days comes and he hasn't changed his mind, so his act of marriage is retroactive from initially when he gave her the ring. That's the machlokes from Rav and Shmuel. Okay? Of course.
Does the witness have to understand exactly what happened?
We discussed this back on Daf Vav and Aleph. We discussed this. The Gemara discussed many expressions of marriage. What we're all familiar is V'kudeshesli, Muresesli. But there were other expressions of marriage. Hariat Charufosi, Harit Sali, like we found Tzela. You're like my bone. Chava was developed from a bone. You're like my side. You're this. All unusual terminologies for marriage. Let's say the witnesses, they didn't even understand what the man meant. They saw an act, a ring being put on his finger, and he used an expression which you're not familiar with. Is it a marriage or not? It's a marriage. So the way and it's ruled Shulchan Aruch. Let's say a person marries a woman in Chinese or a language he doesn't understand, not necessarily Hebrew, another language. Doesn't understand the language. He witnesses the ring being put on the finger, and he could tell the court, the Bezdin, these are the words that I heard, but he didn't understand, and he didn't understand even the significance of the action. The Ramah rules, she's Mukudeshes. Because a witness only has to witness an act. He doesn't have to understand what he's saying. That's the Ramah and Shulchan Aruch, okay?
So this statement
The witness is only giving the Bezdin, telling the Bezdin what he said. Now it's up for the Bezdin to interpret what his intent was. What was his intention?
don't even have to understand.
Nothing. Have to understand nothing. Let's say a witness never heard the concept of tonight. Let's say according to Shmuel, it's not even the question. It means tonight. Means tonight. Man that never heard it. It's the first time. He speaks Hebrew. He understands Hebrew. Doesn't know what tonight is. Knows nothing. He sees a ring, Harim Gudeshesli, and he doesn't even say he says Lach Shloshim. He doesn't even know what it means or what the significance is. She's Mukudeshes. According to Shmuel, when? That's only if the 30-day period comes, then it's retroactive. If not, not. What is he? He's not an expert in halacha, the witness. All he has to do is tell the court what he heard, and they're going to make the determination what exactly that meant.
The court did not ask him, what did you understand?
No, definitely not. It's what you witnessed.
This act here would have to be witnessed when the man said this.
Definitely, of course.
There's a ring on the finger when this
Sure, definitely. He puts a ring on Harei Mukdeshesli, Me'achshav L'ach Shaloshim Yom. That's what he says in the presence of witnesses. Correct.
So according to Shmuel, the second guy who married her, does he need a get?
No, nothing.
So
He married a married woman.
so nothing has taken place.
Nothing. Correct. According to Rav, it's not so simple. Because if it was a retraction, it's a retraction. So he needs a get from both. Okay. That's the machlokes of Rav and Shmuel. So we're holding over here. Gemara says, "Uplukta dahani tanoig." The machlokes Rav and Shmuel is the machlokes tanoim, the Tanya. Ume'ayom la'acham miso. Get ve'enu get divrei chachamim. Person gives a woman a get, and a get was written for the husband and for the woman. I'm on New Testament base. A man writes a get. The sofer wrote the get. He was appointed by the husband to write the get for himself and his wife. And when he gives it a get, he says, "I'm giving the get ma'ayom al achamisa." So ma'ayom means it's effective immediately. But he said la'achamisa. So what did he mean? Did he mean when I die, it should be retroactive? Or does he mean it should take effect after I die? So if it should take effect after he dies, the get is nothing. Because we have principle in get la'achamisa. But if it's a condition, it's only when he dies, then it's retroactive. But if he doesn't die, he's not divorcing her. So then what? Then the get is a valid get. This is a machlokes tanoim. No, so it's a machlokes. Doesn't mean definitely A, doesn't mean definitely B. There's no two interpretations. There's only one interpretation. According to the Chacham, there's only one interpretation. According to Rebbe, there's one interpretation. That's the argument. How do I interpret those words? Do I interpret it as a retraction or as a questionable retraction? Or I say, no, it definitely means retroactive. Rebbe says those words definitely mean retroactive. That's Rebbe's understanding of those words, that statement. Let's read inside. Hayom lachamisa, get ve'enu get to Chachamim. The Chachamim say it's questionable what those words mean. Therefore, it's a question whether it's a get or not. Does it mean retroactive, or does it mean it should take? It was a retraction, take effect after death. After death, it's what? It's not a get. Rabbi Omer kozeh get. Rabbi says no. When he says hayom lachamisa, within that context, it's definitely a get. It's retroactive. It's retroactive. Good. It's a suffix. It means a suffix get. So what does she need? She'll need chalitza. So if, let's say there were no children and there's a surviving brother, he can't do yibum. Of course, the get may be a get. But on the other hand, if it's not a get, then she needs yibum. He said, but she can't get yibum, so he gives a chalitza. She needs the release. So we're saying the machlokes of Rav and Shmuel, whether it's a retraction or not, or it's retroactive, is machlokes Rebbe and the Chachomim. So Rav and Shmuel are Molroim. So if that's the case, if the basis for their argument is Rebbe and the Chachomim, the name of Rav Halochik Rabbanan, Rav should say, I rule like the Chachomim, therefore it's questionable. When he says, Me'achshov, ulach shloshim yom, the name of Shmuel Halochik Rebbe, doesn't make, why should you differentiate? Unless maybe there is reason to differentiate. That's what the Gemara is going to say. So what does Rav identify his position with himself? He should identify his position with the Chachomim. And Shmuel should identify his position with Rebbe. But yet each one, he states his position in his own name. But it's a machlokes tanom. Why are they identifying it with themselves? What? But it is. That is the machlokas. Is it retroactive, or is it? Why not? The Gemara says it is a parallel case. But if they would have said it that way, I would have mistakenly understood what they meant. The ilu amar Rav haloch k'Rabbanan. If Rav would have said we rule like the Chachomim, which they're arguing within the context of get, hava amina, I would have said hasam del rechol k'kosi. Okay. When a man divorces his wife, what is he? He wants to distance himself from his wife. So if he wants to distance himself, what would I say? So when he says hayom lachamisa, what did he mean? There's a question. It may be a retraction. Of course, he's ending a relationship. So maybe, even though he said mehayom, maybe he had second thoughts, right? Because he's terminating a relationship. He's married to the woman. Maybe one wants to delay it. Lachamisa, when I die. He doesn't want to terminate the relationship immediately. What? No. The guy's not an expert. Man's not an expert. He says, me'ayom means from today. That means the moment I give it to you, what is it? Its marriage is terminated. It's terminated, it's over. But since he's ending a relationship, he prefers, he had second thoughts, that's why he said lachamisa. But he thinks it'll work. He doesn't know get lachamisa. He doesn't understand that. So therefore he said ma'yom lachamisa. Because that's the way people speak. Right? That's the way people speak. I'd say he agrees to Shmuel. That it's what? That it's immediate. It's retroactive. When you marry a woman, you want to marry as quickly as possible. So I'd say we said he means it's contingent. If in fact I want to marry, I want it to be immediate. Except unless I want to change my mind, I have 30 days to change my mind. Okay? Regarding kiddushin, by kiddushin. So if he would have said, I rule like the Chachomim, I mistaken would think that's limited to Gittin. But maybe by kiddushin, he would concur with Shmuel, that it would be retroactive. The Tanai boy, that it's a Tanai. If Shmuel would say, I rule like Rebbe, that what? That it's retroactive, Havamina Hosam, then get Lachamisa. Because you know why I rule like Rebbe? Because over there I would say that if he meant it should take effect after he dies, that means the get is nothing. The man is wasting his time. Correct? Because and get lachamisa. Therefore, what do I say? I'm forced to say that it's a condition. Because it's not a condition, then what is it? It's nothing. He wants the get to be a get. He does not. He wants the get to be a get. But regarding kiddushin, that the kiddushin could take effect in 30 days. Right? Rav. Maybe we concur with Rav, therefore it's a retraction. It's not as simple. So we'll agree with Rav that it's a suffix. Is it Tanai? Or is it what? Or is it a retraction? Therefore, each one has to say, state his own in his own name regarding kiddushin. Because otherwise, by saying, attributing to them, I think it's limited to Gittin. By kiddushin, I would say differently. Okay? The way we will, yes. We have witnesses signed. In addition, it has to be witnessed as it's transferred. Correct. Same thing. It's an argument. It's an argument in the Gemara. Whether it's an argument in the Gemara, but it's also machlok rishon. Whether it has to be witnessed when you transfer. No, everybody agrees it has to be witnessed.
Does that make a difference in all of this?
No. Here the question is what the intent is. What is the intent of the husband when he makes the statement, when he gives the money to the woman? Everybody agrees you have to have witnesses witnessing this. Okay? Omer Abaye, uletami de Rav. According to Rav, Rav says it's a question. Is it retroactive or is it a retraction? First person comes and says, I'm marrying you from now after 30 days. So what's the question? Does he mean retroactive? Or does he mean it should take effect in 30 days because it was a retraction? Right? That's Rav. So what would be, if it's a retraction, let's say a second party comes and now marries her, before that it should take effect before 30 days. No, it's a suffix. It would be a suffix. Because it may be retroactive. Rav says it's a suffix. But if it will be after 30 days, there's a basis to say that the second person's marriage is a marriage. Correct? He makes a statement, it should take effect now and after 20 days. So what's the halacha? We don't know what his intent is. Correct. I want it to take effect from now in first 30 days. Second one says from now in 20 days. So if it's retroactive, the second man's action is nothing. But if it's a retraction, so the second man's marriage is effective when? When? 20 days. But before 20 days, it's not effective yet. Okay, good. Wait, with that, ubo acher, a third person comes. Wait. No, we'll see. From now and after 10 days. So we have the same suffix. If it's retroactive, they're all retroactive. So then number 2 and 3 is nothing, correct? But if it's after it was a retraction, who's she married to? To the third person. The one who says after 10 days. So that's what Mara says. Wait, 1 second. Wait 1 second. Ulacha tzricha get me'achron mirishon u'me'achron tzricha get. From the last party and the first party, she needs a get. Correct? Memtzori ain't tzricha get. From the middle person, she doesn't need a get. Why? Mar explains. Monavsha. If when you make that statement, it's retroactive. So the first person says me'ach shvelach shloshim yom. What did he mean? If he meant retroactive, it's a tanai. So that means number 2 and number 3 action are nothing. Because they married a married woman. Because retroactive, 30 days come. Who's she married to? She's married to number 1. Mistake. Correct? The first person's act of marriage is a marriage. Number 2 and 3, it's not an act of marriage because they married a married woman. If actually, when they said after 30 or after 20, it's a retraction, so when is the marriage effective? In 20 days or in 30 days? So if the man says in 10 days, he preempted them. See, she's married to number 3. So number 1 and number 2 is nothing. Wait. Let's try to understand what is being said, then we'll ask what the chiddush is. Okay? Ichazor have, the bashin kiddushin, the hanachlav kiddushin. Okay? Ernie asked a phenomenal question. We more asked the question. Shita, it's understood, right? Right? It's understood, right? If it's retroactive, she's married to Mr. A, number 1 person. And if it's a retraction, she's married to the last party, the one who said after 10 days. So Gemara says something interesting. Now, we could say, when a person says, me'achshav l'ach shloshim, or whatever he says, we have a question, is it retroactive, is it retraction? Maybe you should say, it's a question by each individual person. Maybe some people, when they make that statement, they mean retroactive, and some people they're retracting what they originally said. We don't have one uniform approach to everyone. It either means A or B. It's each individual case. We have to evaluate. The answer, we really don't know what he means. So what he's saying, that it's not a question we evaluate each person and say, we're not sure what he meant. If that would be the case, then she may need to get from number 2, right? As the Gemara will say. You'd say this statement, it could either mean A or it could mean B. It could either mean retroactive, conditional, or retraction. It's out, right? So should we need a get, even from number 2? Because let's say the first man meant after 30 days. Correct? Then we said 2 and 3 she doesn't need. But there's a chance he meant after 30 days. It was retraction. And then when number 2 man comes, and he says after 20 days. Wait, and when he said after 20 days, he also meant retraction. He meant retroactive. He meant retroactive. And when the one that came after 10 days, he meant retraction. So then you would need to get from number 2. No, see, the question is, are they, the argument of Rav Shmuel, are arguing what did he mean, or what does the statement mean? If it's what the individual meant, then it would not be as we're saying now. So we're saying, no, the Machlokes Rav Shmuel is not what did he mean, what does the statement mean? So does the statement mean retroactive, or does the statement mean retraction? It means one or the other. It's not what did he mean, it's what does the statement mean. So if that's the case, that's what Abai is pointing out. It's what the statement means, therefore, number 2 man doesn't have to give anything. Right? That's Abai's Chiddush. It's so difficult. Look, each person spoke in. If you say the statement is ambiguous, right? So if that's the case, we don't know what he meant. Did he mean this? Did he mean that? But if each person, we have the same question, what he meant, so one person could have meant one thing, somebody else could have meant something else. Right? There's room for understanding it either one way or another. And it's simple. It's a tremendous chiddush. Abai saying a chiddush. The way we would have normally said, it could either mean retroactive or retraction. We don't know if the question is, we don't know what did the man mean. Then number 2 would have to give again also. But Abai says, no, number 2 does not have to give a get. Of course, it's not a question of what did he mean, it's what does the statement mean. Objectively, what do those words mean? Making that statement, what does that mean? No, we're going according to Rav. According to Rav, where it's the question, is it retroactive or is it a retraction, right? We're questioning it either means A or B. But it's not what did the individual mean. So if it's individual, each person can mean something else. So that's the chiddush. You don't. The question is not the individual; it's the statement. It either means A or B. So it's a suffix. No, you're oversimplifying it. Suffix, we can still have it. Number 2 has to give a get if it's a suffix. I have a suffix. What did he mean? Right? What did each individual mean? Everybody means the same thing. So if everybody means the same thing, it can mean A or B. So if it's A or B, then number 2 has to give nothing. Because it's retroactive, it's the first person. And if it's a retraction, then the last person has to give the get. Number 2 man is out, has no relevance, has no value. Shmuel says there's nothing to talk about. She's married to one. She's married to mistake. He didn't. He's interpreting it's not a retraction. That's Shmuel. That's the argument. Shmuel says that's not a retraction.
30 days come, then it's retroactive.
Correct.
30 days doesn't come.
Why doesn't it come? He died.
He died.
It's okay, good.
But then it goes to the second of the
Then it'll go to number 2.
Right.
And number 3, good. Okay. Ula says there's a third approach. So we have Rav and Shmuel. Rav says it's questionable. Is it retroactive? Is it retraction? Shmuel says it's retroactive. Omer Reb Yochanan afilu mea. Ula Omer Reb Yochanan afilu mea toseba. 100 people marry the woman. And each one says, after 100 days, now after 100, after 99 days, after 98 days, after 97 days, or some Rishonim say even within 30 days. How do you get 100 people into 30 days? Hours. You know, time period. Within the day itself, everyone takes effect. And everyone has to give a get. No. Not can't be according to Shmuel. What? So then only one would have to give a get because ultimately it's retroactive. According to Rabbi Yochanan, every person has to give a get. It says neither. It's a whole new shot, a new position over here.
He's holding the equivalent of this individual. But you don't know
It can't be a subject to rice because once you have 3 people, then you can't have more than 3, right? Once you have so many, every combination is covered already. So, but he says all 100 have to give a get. Why do all 100 have to give a get? All 100 take effect. Wait a second. Amalei Ramshashi Bereda Ravami, the Ravasi. Ramshashi, the son of Ravami, says to Ravasi, Asberloch, time to Rav Yochanan. I will explain to you the rationale of Rav Yochanan's position. Every single one is considered married her. Multiple people married. How's it possible? Shavu nafshe ki shraga de livni. Got to be a little bit of a mason to understand this. When you lay bricks, how do you lay bricks? You stagger it. You put 2 bricks, then you put the brick on top, which covers both bricks. Okay. Rabbi Yochanan is introducing a concept. Until now, we've been learning the marriage is either now conditional after 30 days, or it's a retraction, it's after 30 days. Rob says it like gradually takes effect. Gradually. I want it to start now, and over the period of 30 days, it will take full effect. It starts now and extends itself over 30 days. Who could you not marry? That's Rabbi Yochanan. Neither. Rabbi Yochanan is arguing both in Rav and Shmuel. He's arguing. A person cannot marry a fully married woman. She's fully married. When is she fully married? In 30 days she'll be fully. It starts when he gives her the ring. I want the process to start now, and it should conclude in 30 days. So now number 2 says, I want it to start now and conclude in 29 days. So each one, when he's marrying her, he's giving the ring to a woman who's not fully married. It's considered like, meaning, because Tosa asked an interesting question, and he answers it very simple. We had earlier, a person says to a woman, Chetziech mukudeshesli. I'm marrying you, half of you is married to me. It's not a valid marriage. You know, it's either half full marriage and what do you mean half of you? So over here Tosa says, I am marrying you fully. However, the process intensifies. No, it starts at a weaker level, fully. However, it intensifies. You could be fully married after 30 days. So he's marrying the full woman. The woman is being fully married, except the process extends over 30 days. So therefore, the second man, when he marries her, he's not marrying an Eshes Ish. Eshes Ish means that it's fully crystallized to be a full marriage. The full marriage doesn't take place till when? Till 30 days comes. Not a piece, not a piece, not a piece, not a piece. It's the totality. It's called kiddushin klusha. It's not a full intensified marriage yet. I'm marrying you fully, meaning the process starts at a weaker level, but the totality of you. And over the period, it will become complete, fully intensified. No, not retroactive. Not retroactive. Not retroactive. If it's retroactive, then the others are not going to be married to her. Then she doesn't need to get from the others. Rabbi Yochanan says she needs. No, Rabbi Yochanan says we know what he meant. It should start now and complete in 30 days.
But the second guy comes along and says, I want to marry you now,
In
completed
20
in 24 hours, in a day. The man comes out and completes the marriage in a day. So what happens? In other words,
Same thing over here. Same thing. So what's the difference in the day or in 29 days?
The guy who married him,
Yeah.
the guy who married her, is what happens? What happens to him? The first guy. If the second guy comes along,
He also has to give a get. They all have to give a get. Because each of them, when they married the woman, right, she was not a married woman. Each of them married a woman who was not a married woman. As a result of that, she's what? She's married to all of them. She needs a get. She needs a get from every one of them.
But not fully married to any of them.
Eventually, the marriage will take place. Every one of them is considered connected to the woman. Everyone. You cannot marry a married woman. But as long as your process started at a time where she was not a married woman, the process could complete.
But nobody's fully married to her.
And it doesn't
Well-
matter
Everybody gets a divorce, and one guy marries her ex-fully.
He doesn't have to. If the others, if they all divorced, then what he's left as the only husband, so he's permitted her.
doesn't matter.
The only reason why the others are not permitted, because all of them simultaneously, she's somebody else's wife.
Right, but if the first guy divorces her as well, the first guy breaks it up.
Whoever it is, let's say not 30 people marry her, 100 marry her. 99 give a get, and you have one person left. That one person is the husband.
How does Rabbi Yochanan know that there's something between full marriage and some other concept? In other
Rabbi
words,
Yochanan
is it
introduces
zero? Is it zero,
It's
or
like
there's
evolving.
marriage?
It's a process that evolves.
So why do we give any chashivas to that?
Rabbi
What's
Yochanan
the
says,
logic?
he's explained it to you. You could do it.
Doesn't matter what order they say, whether the first one starts at 30 and the second
It makes
one
no difference.
29.
As long as when the latter one gets involved, she's still not fully married, right? As long as she's not fully married, then you could once it starts, it concludes.
Is this far of Rabbi Yochanan that he wants to give effect to those words? Is that
No, it's not effect to the words. I mean, you can't give effect to words if the concept is not an applicable concept. I mean, could you?
Seemingly you make some concept that may or may not be true, but I mean, yeah.
Okay, we'll stop here. We'll continue tomorrow. Kaddish.